Good afternoon. My name is Andy Hallman. Later, we'll hear about the Union area teams finding success in their SEC Spring Championships. But first, today's top stories. Washington Mayor Pro Tem Millie Youngquist can officially shorten her title to simply Mayor after winning Tuesday's special election to fill the position. Youngquist won the four-way race easily, receiving 432 votes, or about 44% of the total. Runners-up in the race were council members and Ivan Rangel with 240 votes, Elaine Moore with 171 votes, as well as challenger candidate Rob Meyer with 130 votes. Youngquist said she was pleasantly surprised with the result and thanked the citizens of Washington for their vote of confidence in her. She has served as mayor pro tem for more than a year since former Mayor Jaron Rosene stepped away from his duties following a criminal charge last January. This February, Rosene announced that he would step down from his position effective March 1st. The Salem Church of God will hold a service this weekend at Graveyard Point, the only nationally recognized historical site in Washington County. The private property along the Iowa River is a steep hill with several burial sites, and, according to some, is the only spiritual site of its kind recognized by three distinct civilizations, spanning about 3,000 years of history. It's usually inaccessible to the public. Washington County historian Mike Zoz said the three civilizations include the white settlers from 200 years ago, the historic American Indians from 500 to 600 years ago, and the mound-building American Indians from 2,000 to 3,000 years ago. Participants will meet at the Salem Church of God on Yucca Avenue at 9 a.m. May 5th and caravan over to the worship site, which could be hard to find otherwise. Zoz said the church would shuttle people to the top of the hill as needed. The worship service will include live music from the Great Bluegrass Herons and feature a historical talk by Zoz about the location. Organizers have encouraged participants to bring lawn chairs. Zoz joked that there are no pews at the top of the hill. Police officers from Washington, Clinton County, Fort Madison, Fairfield, and Washington County law enforcement agencies spent 2 days in training at the United Presbyterian Church last week, where they ran through exercises simulating active attackers, law enforcement lingo for anyone intentionally killing people in a populated area. Participants used the church's downstairs classrooms to replicate hostage negotiations, responses to an improvised explosive threat, procedures against a school shooter, and various other scenarios. Paintball-like pellets and blanks stood in for live ammunition as the officers tested their accuracy and triggered discipline under different circumstances. Washington Police Chief Jim Lester said it was the city's first time hosting such a training. With multiple officers in the lineup, he said the exercises were timely as gun violence grows more prevalent in American schools. Governor's School Safety Bureau training specialist Jim Stover said the officers went through each drill several times over, working in teams to problem solve their way through difficult situations. The Fairfield Challenger League hosted its first games of the season at the Jefferson County Little League Ball Diamonds on Tuesday, April 30th. This is the first year the Challenger League has been able to field an adult team that is part of Jefferson County Little League. The league is an opportunity for both kids and adults with special needs to hit, field, throw, and run the bases, all while making friends and having a good time. The adult team played ball with local first responders, such as members of the Fairfield Fire Department, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, and Fairfield Police Department. In fact, the adult team will be playing with special guests all season long, with different businesses and organizations stepping forward to play each week. The youth team will also get a chance to play with some of the best ball players around when FHS students play with them this Saturday. Fairfield Fire Chief Brett Farrell said he and the other first responders had a great time Tuesday and that it was fun to be part of something new in the Challenger League. Jefferson County Sheriff Bart Richmond said the sheriff's office has helped the last few years with the Special Olympics basketball skills competition. He said law enforcement officers have also been invited to participate in this summer's Iowa Games. Janelle Orgovani, one of the organizers of the Challenger League, said First Resources and Optime used to host softball games for adults with special needs, and at one point the games drew as many as 60 people. She said it was great to be included in the Jefferson County Little League's Challenger League for this year for the first time. The Fairfield Community School District honored coach and former teacher Ron Hunterdoss during Monday night's track meet by naming a relay race and cross-country meet after him. At the Brookhart Crew Relays at Fairfield's Trojan Stadium, Hunterdoss accepted the honor of having his name attached to the Girls Distance Medley Relay and the Fairfield Cross Country Invitational. Hunterdoss said he appreciated the recognition and support, but that he initially resisted the idea of renaming races in his honor because he's not even retired from coaching, as he leads the middle school girls track team. Hunterdoss is a Fairfield native who has lived here his whole life. He was born in the former Jefferson County Hospital, 3 blocks south of the FHS Victory Bell, and grew up in a house just half a block west of the high school. Hunterdoss graduated from FHS and later from Parsons College in 1972. He began working for the Fairfield School District that fall, then left to pursue a career as a physical therapist before quickly realizing he belonged at FHS. Hunterdoss tried to work his way back into the district, working as a part-time study hall monitor at first and later as a physical education teacher and coach. He worked at the high school for 13 years and at the middle school for 22 years before retiring in 2008. Hunterdoss coached high school girls track for 41 years and thought he was done. But when Courtright asked him to fill a void in the middle school girls track program, Hunterdoss couldn't say no. He's now coached middle school track for the past 8 years, or 49 years of coaching in all. And will he get to 50? You better believe it. Hunterdoss added that his plan is to retire from coaching once he hits that milestone. A historic home in Mount Pleasant was damaged in a fire Sunday evening, though luckily no injuries were reported. At 8:21 p.m. that day, the Mount Pleasant Fire Department responded to the home at 601 North White Street. Thanks to the help of the New London Fire Department, firefighters were able to get the fire under control in only a short time, though they had to continue fighting hot spots for hours after. Crews finally left the scene around 1 a.m. Monday. Mount Pleasant Fire Chief Anthony Blint said there was heavy fire damage to one bedroom and the porch, as well as water and smoke damage to the rest of the house. Reports from neighbors indicated the home was unoccupied at the time of the fire, and Blint stated the cause of the fire was not yet determined. The house, owned by Lois Crane, is one of historic significance and dates back to 1865. Members of the Crane family have lived in the home since 1945, and former President Barack Obama even spoke at the home during a visit to Mount Pleasant in 2018. A group of landlords and rental property owners from Henry County addressed concerns about proposed development plans for multiple buildings on the former Iowa Wesleyan University campus. They did this during recent meetings of the Mount Pleasant City Council and Henry County Board of Supervisors. A letter from this group of landlords and rental property owners asked if the county's residents realize their tax dollars are going to help a developer. This concern and many others from the group came to the city and county officials following the Board of Supervisors signing a letter of support for developer Christopher Ailes to submit an application for tax increment financing to begin developing housing for Hershey Hall. Ailes approached the board for approval with the assistance of Southeast Iowa Regional Planning Commission Executive Director Mike Norris. If approved, the TIF would give the Hershey Hall project an 80% property tax cut for 15 years. Those are today's top stories. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll hear about the Union area teams cleaning up during their SEC Spring Sports Championships.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Welcome back to Newsbreak, everyone. This is your sports editor, Andy Kretzinger, with your sports report for Thursday, May 2nd, day after May Day, 2024, and it's conference championship week in the Southeast Conference. We were supposed to have some track meets tonight, maybe in Fort Madison. The boys and girls SEC teams are supposed to meet up at Fort Madison to figure out who's the conference champs tonight, and it might be a pretty good race, but it might be tomorrow because the weather's coming in pretty hard here. We did have some conference championships on Wednesday, starting with SEC Boys Golf Championship at Mount Pleasant Golf and Country Club, and the Washington Demons, who have run the SEC Boys Golf gamut this whole year. They get the top 5 individuals to roll to a conference championship. Demons shoot 288 as a team, led by Roman Roth's 67, defending state Class 3A champion. It wins the conference championship. Rajan Roth, second for the Demons. Drew Conrad and Luke Beanblossom go 3 and 4. And Carson Brown, fifth. Carson Brown didn't even technically score because only 4 score, but he still gets top 5 in the conference. Fairfield's Archer Kruder did a real good job to come in 5th here, or to come in 6th here, sorry, the first non-Demon. And that helped Fairfield shoot a 334 to get 2nd place in the conference. And the hosting Panthers, Mount Pleasant, goes 350, led by Merrick Lamb's 42. They get 3rd in the conference. So 1, 2, 3 for the Union area teams there. We had some Southeast Conference girls tennis action in Fairfield, the SEC tournament. They always host it over there in Fairfield. And Mount Pleasant's Jaina Asanta Villa, technically a WMU student that plays for Mount Pleasant, as part of the co-op, sweeps through the singles bracket, including a 6-0, 6-2 win over Nevaeh Logan in the championship match. So Jaina Asanta Villa is your 2024 SEC Girls Individual Champion. And then in the doubles, the Fairfield duo of Emma Winland and Soraya Yamaner get 2nd place. They won a crazy semifinal in the tiebreaker over one of the Burlington teams. To get to the championship, they do lose to the number 1 Burlington team, 6-1, 6-0 in the championship, but a nice 2nd place finish for the Trojans. Remember, tennis is decided in the regular season as far as team scores go. Burlington was your 2024 girls tennis champions. And Fairfield was your boys tennis champions, and they have some more hardware now in the SEC boys tournament, which was held at Dankward Park this week. The Trojans get a couple of championships. Rumen Luau, of course, Maharishi student playing with Fairfield. He goes ahead and wins the singles bracket, sweeps through absolute dominance. And then Han Wang and Austin Loria sweep through the doubles bracket. So Fairfield, actually, Wang and Loria went 6-0, 6-0 in the championship to win that one over a Fort Madison duo. So the Trojans get a couple of big wins. Now they're team champions, they're individual champions, they're doubles champions, and they're also undefeated in the season. So, yeah, as we said earlier, there's supposed to be some track tonight. There's supposed to be some soccer tonight. Not sure that's going to happen. There's also supposed to be some Southeast Iowa Super Conference track at Waco. So Waco and Fort Madison will be the place to be tonight, as long as it doesn't rain too much. But that's all for the sports report. And when we come back to Newsbreak, Alex has your obituaries.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast.
Hello and welcome to Newsbreak. It is now time for your obituaries. John Lowell Cook of Fort Dodge passed away on April 19th at the age of 84. A celebration of life will be held on May 18th from 1 to 4 p.m. at Manning Hall. Roger Roth of Washington passed away on March 18th at the age of 89. A memorial service is planned for 4 p.m. May 5th at the Washington Mennonite Church. Linda Junita Lee of Fairfield passed away on April 27th at the age of 89. Zachary Thomas Sasma of Keokuk passed away on April 25th at the age of 46. Private family services will be held at the Murphy Funeral Home in Mount Pleasant. That is your news from Southeast Iowa. I've been your host, Alex Snyder. This has been your news break, and I will see you next time.